Okay, so in this video, I am going to talk, getting the camera already, about graphing systems of equations. So when you're doing this, just like how we were talking about in our introduction video, you're going to want to make sure that all of your equations are in your y equals mx plus b form before you graph. Then you are going to graph both equations on the same coordinate plane. Now remember, that is just your graph. And your answer will be where the two lines cross. Okay. So if we are following our steps above, we need to make sure that all of our equations are in this y equals mx plus b. So this second one is already there, so we don't need to do anything with that, but we do need to change this top one. So let me just rewrite that. Oops, plus. So I would just subtract x on both sides to get that y equals negative x plus 2. So now you've got this one and this one. So now that they're both in y equals mx plus b form, we are going to graph both sets of the equations on the same graph. So remember, you are going to want to start with your plus 7, or your y-intercept. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then our slope is 4 over 1. So if I go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1, I'll be right here. Then I can get more points by going the opposite way as well. Okay, then if I graph the other one, so I start at the positive 2. Then my slope is this negative 1 over 1, because there's that imaginary 1 in front of those. So if I go down 1 and over 1, like this, all the way across the graph. Okay, so you're going to want to have both your answer and your type when you do this. So your answer is where they cross, which is at this point right here. So that point is -1. That's our x. And then I went 1, 2, 3, up 3. So -1, 3. And we don't necessarily have to figure out if this is perpendicular or just intersecting. What we're looking for with the type is that it's consistent independent. Which if you want to just abbreviate that to CI, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing over here on number 2. So I am going to start by subtracting the 2x to the other side to get that y equals -2x plus 4. So I've got this equation and this equation. So x equals 1 is just a vertical line when it crosses the x-axis at 1. So right here. And then our second one, so I'm going to start at the +4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So right here. Then I'm going to go down 2 because it's negative, and over to the right 1. Down 2, over 1. Okay, and once you do that, you want your answer and your type. So your answer is where they cross, which is at this point right here. So my x is I went over 1 and then 1 up 2. So 2 or 1, 2. And again, just like these, they're crossing at one spot, making it consistent and independent. Okay. Let's flip the page. Okay. So I need to change this top one into y equals mx plus b form. So I'm going to start by subtracting 2x on both sides. And this negative didn't just magically disappear. So I need to still have that out in front, which means that I need to divide by a -1, which all that does is just change the sign. So that's just a positive 2x plus 3. So I've got this equation and this equation. which as you can see are the exact same. So when it comes to our answer, this is going to be infinite because it's just going to be one line. Which means that our type is going to be the consistent dependent, or you can abbreviate that to CD. But I still need to graph that, so I just only have to graph it once because it's the same line. So I'm going to start at +3. Then this is 2 over 1, so go up 2 and over 1. Okay. And then here, so neither of these ones are in y equals mx plus b form, so I'm going to have to change both of these. So if I start, I would subtract x on both sides. Divide by -2. So there's that 1 in front of here, and the 2 negatives will cancel out, so it'll just be a +1/2 x, then -2. There's 1. Now we need to just go ahead and divide this one by -2. So y equals, again, there's that imaginary 1 there, and the 2 negatives will make a positive, so 1/2 x plus 1. So I'm going to go ahead and graph these. Here's my other one. So if I start at the +1, I'm going to go up 1 and over 2. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and graph this one. So this one starts at -2. I go up 1 and over 2. Okay, now as you can see here, neither of these lines crossed at any point. And you can also see that their slopes are the same. So you probably would have been able to tell this a little bit earlier, but just to show you here, so this is no solution. which means that the type is inconsistent. Okay. So I want you to go ahead and do 5 and 6 on your own. Don't forget to find the answer and the type for both of these. Okay, let me know if you have any questions.